doing things, Russia will be doing things, and maybe even North Korea will be doing things because they're watching our country. We are psychologically weak. We built the military. I built a great military. We had jet fighters that were 40 and 50 years old. We have new everything. We're in such great shape, but you still have to have the brain power to know how to use it. And they watch that withdrawal, and they think, and by the way, the withdrawal, get out. 21 years, but you get out with dignity and strength. And we were going to get out with dignity and strength. What they did, these countries see that, and I'll tell you what, we're in a much different position. With that being said, you hurt the athletes, you hurt a lot of people. I would not do it. Jimmy Carter tried it. It didn't work. I wouldn't do it. That's not the problem. By the way, one other thing. I took in billions, hundreds of billions of dollars in taxes and tariffs from China. We never got 10 cents for 40 years. They never paid us anything. Hundreds of billions of dollars. And businesses were starting to come back to us. China respected our country. Russia respected our country. I stopped the pipeline going to Europe. Biden approved it. But, of course, he stopped the Keystone pipeline in our country, and others he's trying to stop. Now, we have a group of people. I don't know if it's Biden. It might not be. But we have a group of people that are destroying our country and perhaps knowingly destroying our country.
But he doesn't want us to rely on fossil fuels. Do you think he's doing this on purpose so that we buy electric cars?
So fossil fuels are our strength. It's our advantage. And it also can fire up those big factories and those big plants. You look at what they're doing to our landscape. They're destroying our landscape, our birds. They're destroying with wind. And by the way, those turbines are all made in Germany and they're made in China.
Yeah, I know.
Okay? And if you talk about emissions, the making of those turbines, if you really go with the emissions theory, the making is so onerous to the environment that nothing they can do will ever save anything. You know, and as far as cars, in order to make the batteries of those cars, it's the electric cars. And now you're not going to have a choice because they want to go all electric. But doing that is going to cause a lot of problems for a lot of people. They don't want to go that way. They're taking our greatest asset it's right under our feet. We are blessed as a country with tremendous energy reserves under our feet, and they don't want us to use them.
Mr. President, you were on social media, and you said a lot of people were saying you got to cool it on social media. You said, well, that's the reason I got elected. Now that you're off social media, even despite January 6th and the investigation, everything that happened since, the impeachment that followed, your ratings, according to some friendly polling for you, are higher than they've been. Did you overrate the impact of social media? And in retrospect, will you need it if you want to run again?
I think that people are seeing the great job that we did. You know, again, we had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We rebuilt our military. We had great military support. You look at the Hispanic support we've had. We had the best Hispanic support. I just think that people are missing us.
But what about social media, Mr. President? But what about social media? Nice. Did it hurt you more than help you? And now that you're off it and you see that nothing's really changed with your numbers except actually going up, do you think that you overemphasize social media?
It is strange because my numbers now are the best they've ever been. I think that's because maybe they look at the opponent and they look at what's happening to our country. I think social media is important. I think we have some very bad people. I think a lot of illegal things were done with social media. You understand, when they can do $417 million. You know, if you spend more than $5,600, they put you in jail. And yet here's the guy spent $417 million and nothing happens to him.
Oh, on the election.
So I think social media is fine if it's used properly. And I think we're going to have a platform that's going to be incredible, and that's what's being developed right now.
Will you change your approach?
You know, I really, it's such an interesting question. I had to move fast. Our country was in bad shape. I had to move fast. Some of the niceties, you know, like let's sit down and let's talk very calm. I had to get things going fast. China was ripping us off. $500 billion a year. Europe, they sound nice, but they rip us. They're almost as bad as China. We made a new deal with Mexico. We made a new deal with Canada. We made a new deal with Japan. We were doing a lot of things, and you had to move fast. And sometimes in order to do that, you can't go. I can be as nice as anybody. I think I'm a nice person, but we had to move quickly, and sometimes you have to break the eggs a little bit.
To make an omelet. Okay, so, Mr. President, during your 4 years as President of the United States, you had at least one or two official White House photographers with you at every event. Every time you were out in public, they were snapping pictures. There are millions of images in the vault, and obviously part of the Donald Trump presidential archives. You've sifted through all of those, and you've put together the first book of your post-presidency. It's called Our Journey Together. And this book, it's a coffee table book. It's got 300 pictures in it. I understand you wrote all of the captions. How did you figure out what pictures were going to, out of the millions, how did you figure out which pictures went in and which ones did not?
Well, it's a great question, frankly, and it's somebody who also has had some very successful books. But we wanted to do it quickly because we wanted to give people hope. Our country is just now, there's so many people, they're down, and we wanted to show, it was a beautiful time. It was unfair. Nobody was ever attacked and hit like I was, but I understood that, and I got it, and I think we also gave it back to them. But we had to do something, and you're right, we have millions and millions of pictures, but we picked pictures that we thought really represented the time. And there are a lot of beautiful pictures. Even the rallies, we have pictures of these massive rallies that we have. And the rallies right now are bigger now than even before the election, which is shocking. Normally you would think you wouldn't have anybody show up. We had, in Alabama, 69,000 people. We went to, as an example, we had 4 rallies that I think were the biggest that we've ever had. We had a tremendous rally in Georgia. We had a tremendous rally in Iowa, unbelievable rally in Iowa, but the numbers are so big, and it's really people want hope. And that's a little bit and maybe a lot of the reason that I did this book. I think it gives people some hope and to look into a very beautiful time. In many ways, a very beautiful time. COVID came along, and we had to fix it, and then we got it going again. So we really did it twice.
Mr.
And
President,
now our country is being destroyed.
Does it make you want to get another 4 years and be the 47th president? And is it true that the First Lady, Melania Trump, the former First Lady, has told you, I'm not going back if you run again?
No, that's not true. That's an interesting one. More fake news. No, that's not true.
Fake news. All right.
She was a great First Lady. She did a great job, but she loves the people. They love her. I see how they love her. But no, I will say this. We have to fix our country. Our country is going bad. We're not going to have a country any longer if we keep doing this. When we allow other countries to empty their prisons into our country.
But what about you? Do you want to be the 47th president?
Have a country.
Are you thinking about do you think you're the only one to bring it back as the 47th president?
Well, if you look at the poll numbers, I am, because the poll numbers are 95% and 96% approval rating now in the Republican Party. Nobody's ever had that. And overall approval numbers are great. So, I'm not going by polls. I'm just saying I did it before and really did it twice. We had it at a level that has never been seen before, and then we brought it back to a level that was really good despite the China virus. And other countries, not one country has fared as well as we have. Not one country.
Mr. President,
we did a good job.
Pardon the interruption. As we were just a moment ago looking at those many images from the 4 years of your administration, what was the, and you had to struggle to find the photographs for this particular book. What was, out of curiosity, the best day as president?
Well, we had so much success. I mean, if you look at
narrow it down to one, if you could, because
if you look at Right to Try, okay, we got the biggest tax cuts in the history of our country. That was a great day. We had a big start. We got the biggest regulation cuts. That was a great number of days. We did Right to Try. So Right to Try, they've been trying to get it for 18 years. And I got it. That's where you can use medicine to take people that are terminally ill and allow them to see if this medicine works, and it's been incredibly successful. That wouldn't sound as big as some of the other things we've done, but that was a very big thing. Supreme Court justices, well, they're going to be making a ruling, a very important ruling soon, let's see how that works out. But I had 3. You know, it's very unusual to have 3, and I got 3, and they're very good. And let's see how that all works out, because right now they're going to be making one of their biggest decisions and putting in almost 300 judges throughout the United States. I mean, it's almost 30% of the judges in the country. So we had a lot of big moments, and I could go on. I could just go on and on.
Okay,
we had a lot of big moments.
So,
Mr. President, thank you so much for coming on with us. If you're interested in pre-ordering the book, it's 45books.com. I hope you're enjoying Florida. I know the Trump family, unfortunately, is canceled in certain states, and you all moved down to Florida, left New York. I hope everyone's happy and doing well. Thank you so much for joining us.